In New York City politics, words are never just words. They're symbols, and sometimes landmines. Zohran Mamdani, a self-described socialist and Democratic nominee for mayor, learned this when he refused to condemn the phrase, "Globalize the Intifada." To his supporters, it was a call for global justice. To many in the city's Jewish community, it evoked memories of violence and fear. The phrase's ambiguity ignited a firestorm, especially after Mamdani, pressed on national TV, sidestepped the issue, calling it a distraction from his broader vision. For some, this was principled. For others, it was evasive and deeply unsettling. In a city grappling with rising anti-Semitism, his ambiguity was seen as a failure of leadership. The controversy exposed the challenge of leading a city where words carry different histories for different communities. As the Democratic nominee, Mamdani now faced the test of uniting a divided electorate without losing his political identity. Could he pivot and still keep the trust of the voters he needed to win? Transitioning from primary firebrand to general election nominee, Mamdani faced a new reality. At a meeting with business leaders, he declared he would not use "Globalize the Intifada" and discouraged others from doing so. Critics, however, saw this as a calculated move, not a genuine change of heart. The timing, after clinching the nomination, sparked skepticism about his authenticity. Many wondered, is Mamdani a conviction politician or a pragmatist tailoring his message for votes? His challenge now is to prove his shift is sincere and to rebuild trust with communities who felt threatened by his earlier stance. The damage from his initial ambiguity lingers, making his path to City Hall steeper. Can he convince New Yorkers he's a leader for all, not just his base? Criticism of Mamdani's pivot came from both Republicans and Democrats, amplifying the controversy. Democratic voices called his refusal to repudiate the phrase a moral failure, while Republicans painted him as a radical out of touch with New York values. Opponents argued his initial stance revealed his true ideology, and his recent shift was mere political survival. Democratic strategists warned that unless Mamdani clearly and repeatedly denounces anti-Semitism, the issue could define and doom his campaign. The controversy threatens to overshadow his platform on housing, education, and the economy. To move forward, Mamdani must show he understands the fears of all New Yorkers, not just his supporters. The question, can he transform from outsider activist to unifying leader? Pressure mounted from within Mamdani's own party. Top Democrats, including Senator Gillibrand and House Minority Leader Jeffries, demanded a stronger condemnation of the phrase, warning of its impact on Jewish New Yorkers. The message was clear: align with the party's mainstream or risk isolation. Mamdani must now balance appeasing party leaders and reassuring anxious voters without alienating his progressive base. A full retreat could sap the energy that fueled his primary win, but standing firm risks further backlash. His recent statements mark an attempt at this balancing act, but sustaining it will be the real test. Can he unite the party and the city, or will the controversy define his campaign? The Globalize the Intifada controversy is a case study in the power of language in politics. For Mamdani, one phrase has become a referendum on his judgment and fitness to lead. The issue has fractured the electorate and given opponents ammunition to unite against him. His path to victory depends on holding his base while convincing others he's not the extremist critics claim. Ultimately, this election may hinge on trust. Can voters believe Mamdani's shift is genuine? Rebuilding that trust will require more than words. It will take consistent action. The episode highlights the challenge of progressive politics in a diverse city, how to champion global justice without sowing division at home. Mamdani's journey will offer lessons for the future of progressive leadership and the enduring power of words.